and you see what those who claim to be our friends have done, we have to talk to them about this. And we must not be cowardly in so doing. I'm going to close this now. You think that the Constitution of the United States is your protection. President Bush said to the members of Congress, he wants the Patriot Act made into a law. They can come in your house when you're home or when you're not home. Search your house, lock you up, keep you incommunicado. Don't let your family know where you are. All they have to do in a time of so-called war like this is to call me one who favors the terrorists and call me an enemy combatant. The Constitution is not your protector. It never has been, and in a few days, they're going to declare martial law and suspend the Constitution, not only for you and me, but for whites as well. See, our government, this government, made itself rich through slavery. The first compromise was the 3/5 compromise, which the Constitution considered us 3/5 of a human being. So when you so gleefully say, when in the course of events, the God of nature, decrees that we should have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, they ain't had you in mind at all. The framers of the Constitutions had blacks in slavery as they were writing these terms. Do you understand this? The second compromise was they argued against the transatlantic slave trade, not to end slavery, but to end the slave trade. And before they would join the 13 colonies to become a union, they said, no, we're not joining if you all are going to forbid the transatlantic slave trade. So the second compromise was that the transatlantic slave trade would go on for 20 more years and would end in 1808. The third compromise was the return of fugitive slaves. That whenever you ran away, if you ran to the north, they were supposed to take you and send you back. And then they would take a brand with an R on it and brand you on your cheek with an R, saying this is a runaway nigger. They would bust out your front 2 teeth and they would cut off your ears so that they would know when they see you, you're one of those runaway slaves, a bad nigger. And in our community right now, you have some wonderful black men, some of you right in this audience, strong and fearless, but you're always in trouble. You in Cook County Jail. Every time we look around, you're there because they can't break you. But they don't know how to make you into the man that God desires you to be, and they don't even desire to do that. And so in 1857, a black man in the North who was a slave who had escaped to Missouri, well, that's near north, He sued for his freedom. His name was Dred Scott. And the Supreme Court determined. Let me read what the Supreme Court said. That's why we can't get no justice up there either, brother. Look at this. The question is simply this. Can a Negro whose ancestors were imported into this country and sold as slaves become a member of the political community formed and brought into existence by the Constitution of the United States, and as such become entitled to all the rights and privileges and immunities guaranteed to the citizen? One of which rights is the privilege of suing in a court of law the United States in the cases specified in the Constitution. Supreme Court Justice Taney went on to say, the words in the Constitution, people of the United States and citizens, are synonymous terms, and they mean the same thing. We the people, citizens, not you. The question before us is whether the class of persons described in the plea in abatement compose a portion of this people and are constituent members of this sovereignty. And Justice Taney said, we think they are not. They are not included and were not intended to be included under the word citizens in the Constitution, and can therefore claim none of the rights and privileges which that instrument provides. Now, some of you say, well, that was overturned by the 13th Amendment. Well, I think we need to talk about that then. The 13th Amendment, well, let me find it. Yeah, I'm gonna take my time. I really want you to get this. I want to make sure that I didn't miss it. Yeah. See, the 13th Amendment abolishes slavery. But look at this. It abolishes slavery, but look at what it says. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime. I'm gonna say it again. Slavery is abolished except as a punishment for a crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Which means that when you're convicted of a crime, they have a right to make you a slave. Now, why are there 2 million in the prison system and it's growing every day? Talk to me! See? 3 strikes and you're in for life? You're a slave. Nearly 1/3 of all black men are in the judicial system in one form or another. So your rights, you don't have any. They pick you up in the street. Hey, well, we got a crime. It looks like your modus operandi. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. White folk, I wasn't even there. But here's what we want you to do. We want you to say that John over here did do it and you saw him do it, and we won't punish you. See? Slave can only talk against another slave. You go out here right now and kill your own black brother, and tomorrow bail is posted you out on the street to kill again. Because you killed a nigga. You rape a black woman, ain't no crime for that. So your prisons are your modern day slave plantations. So you say you were emancipated? Abraham Lincoln was your man? You don't read. That's your problem.